How's it, everybody? Link here. We are back for another Dokkan Battle video. In today's video, we are taking on the Festival of Battles with the Teq Pan. We are running her on the new GT Duos team, and I gotta say, this is probably a really good event for her. I didn't think it would be, but it is. And that's due to her orb changing. She really helps out the Super Saiyan Force. And plus, since it's an event that she can actually stack up on, she can actually do some decent damage here. So unfortunately, we don't get the EX super attack with our fours on this one, just due to the key. One thing I did notice though, as we went through this, is that she actually is a lot more tanky than I thought, right? A lot of people made it seem like she was, she was very dodge or die, but that's not the case, and you're gonna see that here in this, right? Like, look, we're over 90 million right now with our there we go, 100 mil now. With our supers. So we basically kept her on rotation with this GT Duo here, and we basically every other turn alternated them. So one turn we let Pan attack, one turn we let the GT Duo attack, and we just kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth every single turn. The other rotation we just kept the fours and the other GT Duo on, just to work. But look, we're getting those dodges. Remember, in slot 2, she does have 80% chance to dodge those attacks, so she's pretty safe there. The hard part was finding the balance for this guy here, the Super Saiyan 4 Goku. We kind of, I mean, he's kind of been floating this whole time, which I know is pretty dangerous for him, but we did get to a certain point where we were able to get some decent amount of supers with him, right? As we started, getting to points where we weren't killing the bosses straight away. And I mean, really, we just need him to be able to tank normals at the end, which, I mean, so far we're doing here in the movie 8 phase. All right, so, all right, let's go ahead and let's transform the fours. Let's figure out where those supers are. There is one in slot 1. All right, well, let's stick him in slot 1, I guess. Let's do that. Hopefully we get that counter, and we get ourselves a move on. There we go. So we'll get the EX super with this one. So this GT Duo is significantly stronger than the other one, because the not only did we basically keep them in slot 1 the entire time, getting there. Well, actually, that's not true. Early on, we let the fours just get one key orb and get a super every single time, and then we supered with the GT Duo. But they supered every single time, and they got significantly more EX supers than the one with Pan, which is funny because they weren't, the other one actually had access to the orbs, but they just weren't proccing the EX super as much. So it's funny. And also, right, the turns that Pan went in slot 1, she literally just soloed phases. So it's kind of a catch-22 there on that one. So excellent. Okay, we do that. All right, so they're tanking, and then let's see. There we go. We get that EX super with the Vegito there. Perfect. And don't know if we're gonna kill here. In fact, I would prefer that we don't, so we can get the EX super on Daima Goku and carry some attack into the Daima phase, because as you can see here, we do not have Dokkan attack prep. I have found with this team, the way this team paces out the stages, I have to refigure out the pacing for the Dokkan attack, because it gets Dokkan attacks very quickly, because of how fast they're going through the phases, and so the timing's still a bit off. I gotta figure that out. But, I mean, it's not really that big a deal. You're going to see that we're kind of at a point where you don't really need it for the Daima phase. And you're going to see what I'm talking about here in a second. So, okay, so this is a risk. I don't know where the supers are. But I do know, since we don't have the Dokkan attack, we're going to go ahead and use our items here. That's pretty much my play here, right? The items basically substitute the Dokkan attack, which we would need to quickly take down one of these two guys. But we are going to keep our slot 1 unit, like with the Goku and Vegeta. Now, I'm pretty sure Pan can tank the normals here, even without the items. as I've seen her without items tank. Well, these items don't give defense anyways, so they're straight up attack. So it doesn't really make a difference. There we go. Okay, so there's the super on the GT2O, which of course they are well beyond enough to tank. So we're good here. So 110 million. All right, so we're not that far off the other one, but as you can see here, no EX super once again. This is the luck I've been having with him. He's just not getting his EX super, which isn't the worst thing, right? I mean, he's still going to get the attack, which is what we need. The defense still raises pretty good between all the supers he's doing, but we do lose out on that 10% attack stack for the rotation, which is what we want. Or not rotation, but rather the team. But it is what it is. Now, like I said, Pan's a risk here because that 80% chance to dodge is we very well could take a super here. But since we know Daimogoku already supered, we at least know we don't have to worry about that. And I'm fairly certain we can at least live a normal from Daimogoku at this point. Glorio might be another question, though, if he supers. Doesn't look like he's going to, though. They usually, I mean, it doesn't happen. 140 mil, look at that. So it doesn't happen often, but they can both super in a single turn. I don't usually get that to happen, but sometimes it does. And now that I've spoken it into existence, it's probably going to happen here. Now, one thing I did notice running through this event, there we go, we get the dodge. There we go, she tanked Glorio's normals. Impressive. Yeah, so one thing I have noticed running my Pan here, so I previously had her built more for additionals. I am thinking I want to give her more crit on her passive. Well, we'll see as we'll see how this goes, but I am feeling that crit. In fact, with just the way bosses have been designed lately, right, there's a lot more defense on bosses and damage reduction, and I think that's probably what we're going to see a lot more of because a lot of bosses are pretty much at the HP limit now, so we're going to start seeing bosses get greater defense and greater damage reduction. Units with crit are going to be all that much more necessary nowadays. A lot of people like to skip out on the crit in favor of dodge, but I'm sorry, you know, the way these bosses have been going, I think it's kind of necessary. And, you know, Pan definitely made me feel that on some of my runs on that Grand Tour. Okay, so looks like the super is at the far end here, and it's Glorio's super. So we're going to do this, and we're going to pray that this is going to be enough to take him out, because I don't know if Goku can live that super, AGL Goku. But I don't want to rotate anybody off of this rotation, so let's just do that. And pray that it is enough damage with the Goku here to kill. There we go, 200 mil on the Gogeta. Excellent, we get another one. Perfect, so, you know, I think we got that. I think it's going to depend on whether or not, well, yeah, it's going to depend on how much damage Int Goku does. Because even outside of his active skill turn, he's still a nuke. There we go, 264 mil, right? So theoretically, as long as we get the crit, 3 hits should be enough to take him down, because he's got. I just said as long as we get the crit. Yeah, so you see what I'm talking about with that crit, right? Like, look how much damage we lost just because we didn't crit since he's a Fizz type. There we go. Yeah, because he is a he's got 800 mil HP. So right, those crits we really need. There we go. One more. Okay, we get another one. We're good. Right, and that sucks too, because that initial attack, right, that's a massively raise, right? That could with the Ultra Super. There we go. Okay, so that takes down Glorio. Okay, so Goku's safe. It worked. Woohoo! Yeah. Yeah, so we did stack up to Goku, I guess, enough here. There we go. Additional super. Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, so it looks like we were able to stack him up enough, right? With him at 100 mil and his defense where it's at now, we're in a pretty good place here. Okay. Yeah, so I guess I think we got enough. We don't need to switch into Goku. I think we can take the extra attack now. The hope here is we get the EX Super this time, right? We don't let it we don't let it get us down here. Hopefully we get the EX Super time, and there it is, perfect. So we get the EX Super, so we get that extra attack buff for Pan, which is what we want, and then of course we'll get the extra stacks on them, which will help us into the final phase. Don't know. It's really going to depend on how these next couple of rotations play out, but if we're playing this correctly, I'm pretty sure the next phase is going to solo Gogeta, which means we're not going to have Daimagoku's EX super active, which means we're actually doing less potential damage than we could do, which is not the worst thing in the world, but, you know, obviously, there we go. Good job, Pan. Take out Daimagoku. Excellent. All right, and now the Gogeta phase, the fun phase. Okay. So we have Goku here. All right, we got plenty of defense. So I say just active skills central here. Let's just solo the Gogeta phase so that way we can guarantee we have Pan here on the rotation. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah. Okay, so let's pop Goku's active. Beautiful. Look at that. Whole core of his health. Actually, that's like a third of his health. Oh, jeez. Okay, and we got the crit, too. That's what's nice. Okay. Let's put that. Good. All right, and then let's do AGL Gogetas. So, no Vegeta and Trunks this run, right? So we're not getting defense on the Gogeta. So we could potentially die here with AGL Gogeta. If he... Well, actually, it's one normal. He should be able to tank one normal in the final slot. So, all right, there we go. We'll do the other Gogeta's active. Beautiful. And then we'll go ahead and toss our Goku in slot 1. We have enough defense plus his damage reduction that we will be able to tank. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, we're going to be able to tank that super straight out. Maybe we'll get lucky and just straight up dodge it, but I know we will be able to tank it with that much defense. Oh, also we're getting the Dokkan attack. Okay, we'll take that. Okay, there goes Gogeta Super. Oh boy. Watch this, watch this, watch this. Oh, never mind. We got the 50% challenge. We will take that, and we're going to strike back with that Dokkan attack, which, I mean, if we're lucky, we'll just one-shot him. Look at that, right? And these guys are built for Festival. There we go. Perfect. I still want to do my full Super Saiyan 4 run for Festival. We still got to do that. I know it can be done. Question is, do I want to try to push it no item? I mean, I've talked about this before. It's like, so I'm not the kind of person who has a million hours a day to sit back and re-record. Oh, there we go. Jeez, we didn't kill him with the Dokkan attack, but we came close. I'm not the kind of person who has the time of day to, you know, re-record festival runs. I get one shot a day if I'm lucky to do a festival run. So, alrighty. Well, that takes us into the Vegito phase, and now for the fun part, right? We get to see Pan's active here. All right, so yeah, defensive wise, the 4s are good. Okay, so we still have the other one. So, right, it's our final turn here. I want to see big numbers out of Pan, right? We want that, right? You know, attack helicopter Pan coming out here. So let's see. Okay, all right. Looking good. Let's pop that, so we'll get the 44% for GT allies. Oof, no crit. Dang. Okay. Is what it is. I mean, still did a decent chunk of damage, though. But you know what? Actually, you know what? I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that because that means he might not kill in slot 1. There we go. Let's do Pan's active. Oh, Pan get the crit. So Pan ended up doing more damage. Okay. That's about the same, actually. It's about the same. Okay. So, I mean, we could kill if we put AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku in next to the Int one, but I want to do this number. We know Goku's going to tank whatever happens in slot 1, but I want to see if we can get Pan to do a couple attacks here. I just want to see what she's going to do in the final phase. If we die, we die. Well, she will die to a super, but I have had her tank normals from Vegito before in another run. We ended up dying to the super that run, but I have on this exact same setup, sans the Bulma defense item, she survived normals here. on this active turn. There we go. Look at that. And then we get the 50% dodge. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. And we're checking out 300 million attack stats. Goku is a nuke, and he's a fun one too. All right. There we go. All right, we get another super. Beautiful. I would have loved to set up the double Goku turn. That could have been fun. Nice. All right, we get an additional super. 238 million. Perfect. Oh, look at that. One more. Yeah, 244 or 42. Actually, I think that said. There we go. And Pan gets some attack. So 140 million. It's not the craziest attack we've seen, but also she doesn't really have any good link partner. She's basically just getting GT and Fierce Battle here from Goku. That's it. But we do have the support, the GT support. Okay, now so you're seeing what I'm talking about. These crits. These crits are killing me, man. He would have been dead already if we crit. Jeez. Okay. And we kill with the normal. Okay. So yeah, definitely feeling like I need to adjust her potential to crit. But hey, we got the KO with Pan. And even though it was a normal, I'll take it. So there you have it, folks. There is Teq Pan versus the Festival of Battles. People said she couldn't do it. People said the defense wasn't enough. But I had faith. I had faith that she was going to be very useful for the GT team here because she's just that good. I think, I don't know, there's a lot of downplay on her. I really feel it. Like, she's just good at what she does. Supporting, floating, dodging, and even attack to a degree. Maybe not the attack levels of what she was, but still pretty good. So guys, that's it for the video. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know, who do you want to see us take into the Festival of Battles next, as we await the next part of the celebration. And let us know what you think of Teq Pan. We didn't really do a showcase for her. There's just so much going on with part 2 in terms of content that I have to create, so we kind of lost that. But let us know what you think in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.